Yep.
So you're the state fair.
Yeah.
And we're Disneyland.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I'm at the whim of whatever range I'm using.
Yeah.
So there's some I go out there, absolutely fantastic. There's some I go out there and it's bare bones basic.
Yeah.
And then, hey man, I want to do. Can we shoot barricades? Do you see a barricade around here? I can't do. If I don't
bring one in with you.
Yeah, exactly. and I've told people that before.
Yeah.
I've got a class in South Carolina coming up. Hey, we want to do some barricade stuff. Great. There's not a one out there, but you bring them out there. We'll do it.
Yeah.
I can't accommodate if it's not there. and nor am I sitting there going to try to pile umpteen gazillion barricades in the back of my truck.
No.
So, yeah.
Well, just some of the things that we're doing so you can formulate your thoughts.
Yeah.
Lots of construction, capital improvements. The last couple of years, we've put about $2 million in new instructor housing, new office, new pro shop, new bathrooms, and prep for more classrooms. Monday, they start construction of our new, we call it the mess deck, the lunch pavilion.
Yep.
Twice as big, the new one is. So the metal structure goes up Monday. They delivered steel Friday.
Okay.
And then as soon as it's done, a new warehouse and barn. Then the old warehouse and barn is demoed, and the old mess deck, we're repurposing the galvanized there and putting it a shade cover downrange on 3 of the ranges.
Awesome.
And we took 5 of our old Connexes that we don't need now, and we just moved those on Wednesday down to the 400-yard line on Woodfill Range, 3-story sniper tower.
Okay.
Urban sniping.
Yeah.
That'll let us reach out on that range now to 1,000.
Okay.
And we started a brand new class this weekend. It's called Performance Center.
Okay.
Staying true to our fighting doctrine, we have a separate division called Performance Center, and it is pure speed and accuracy.
Awesome.
Not competition.
Yep.
Speed and accuracy. And it does not qualify you for the shoot house classes.
Okay.
Because there's no tactics. So the 100 and 200 level are the people like Steve Tarani and Steve Hendricks and Randy Watt and so on teaching that. Lou Gosnell teaching that for us. And then once we get into the 300 level, last year for the beta class, we brought in this fellow named Rob Latham. He said he could teach some things. So for the 300 level, we're going to bring in like Rob Latham. We've also talked to Todd Jarrett and Max Michelle and some of those other high-speed guys.
Yep.
And we're trying to kind of draw in some of the younger market.
Sure.
So, but if they come and think, well, how do I do that shoot house stuff? Well, step over to Gunsite, to the training academy and start there.
Nice.
So anyway, that just kind of gives you some ideas on things going on.
Yeah. We'll chat and get rolling from there.
Right.
So
yeah, we're ready to go if you're ready.
All right. I'm ready.
All right.
Ken, you good?
I'm ready.
All right.
Hey, I'm an old elected official. I can talk.
Hey, that's good.
That's good. Yeah. You ready to go?
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, 3, 2. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to On the Range podcast with HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am Mark Kelley from KelleyDefense.com, and joined with me, as always, is my co-host and friend from WarHog.com, Rick Hogg. How's it going, pal?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Just want to thank the NRA for giving us the invite here to the annual meeting in Atlanta for Voices of the Second Amendment. Super excited about our guest today. So we've got Ken from Gunsite, and he is going to tell us all about the new things that Gunsite has going on, probably dabble in some old stuff as well. So
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. Well, first off, I appreciate guys being here.
Absolutely.
This is a neat opportunity. NRA is something new. You know, positive things are happening in NRA now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
There was some issues there for a while, but they got new board members, and there's some positive things happening. This right here is one of those.
Well, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
It's good that you guys are here doing this.
Yeah.
So I know it's been a good show for me and for Gunsite. Yesterday I hit a little over 15,000 steps.
That's nice.
On the floor, seeing clients and vendors and our students. We call them Gunsite family. I can't tell you how many Gunsite family members I ran into, and I'm about to run out of Gunsite pins because, you know, I'm giving those out to the Gunsite family, because shame on them, they didn't show up with their pins on.
Roger that.
But anyway, there it is right there. I've got them trained. It didn't take long.
Shameless
See,
plug.
contrary to popular belief, they are trainable.
There you go. Thanks, Ken.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So anyway, no, it's been a good show, and I'm heading back. Great things continue to happen at Gunsite, and for the folks who don't know, Gunsite is the world's Gunsite, and for the folks who don't know, Gunsite is the world's oldest and largest privately owned firearms training academy.
Wow.
We're over 3,200 acres. When Jeff Cooper, our founder, Jeff and Janelle Cooper, opened the doors in 1976, it was 162 acres. There were 2, I call them square ranges, traditional ranges.
Right.
1 live fire shoot house and 1 outdoor simulator.
Okay.
Now we're over 3,200 acres. We have 27 ranges, multiple live fire indoor and outdoor simulators. Anyway, it's a neat place. It's a magical place, and we keep good Americans alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just give us a quick rundown. I know you kind of work the 100 series as far as your courses go. So just give this, the viewer, listener a rough idea.
Our courses are numbered like college courses. Back in the day, Gunsite was affiliated with one of the colleges in Arizona, and you got college credit for taking them. So the classes are numbered like that: 250, 350, 499 pistol. Carbine classes are 223 and 556.
Very good.
Rifle classes, general rifle, are called 270.
Okay.
And then some of the other classes are named. So that's how they are. Now, people think, well, I've been to Warhog classes, or I've been to here and there. I need to start at this level. And we're like, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. And my personal experience, 1989, I called out to Gunsite, and Jeff Cooper happened to answer the phone. I said, well, this is who I am, and I've been to Masad Ayub, I've been to Ray Chapman, I've been to Smith & Wesson Academy, I'm a firearms instructor, I'm a SWAT guy, I help teach at our state academy. I need to start at 350 pistol. Nope, it's not the way we do things at Gunsite. You'll start at 250.
Okay.
I thought, you old curmudgeon. But he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I didn't know. If I come to your school, I'm not going to ask to start here, because I want to know what you're teaching and how and why and what the foundation is, and build from there.
Yeah.
And nothing frustrates us more. And again, I know I'm speaking for you here. Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, why don't you try shooting like this? Well, this is the way I've always done it.
Yeah.
Why did you give me money?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how they're numbered. We do various levels of pistol, carbine, general rifle. To us, carbines are ARs. Rifles are 30 caliber.
Okay.
Various levels of shotgun. We do subgun again. We've had enough requests for it. If you don't own your own subgun, we can rent them to you.
Okay.
We got MP5s and Colt SMGs. We do tactical medicine. It used to be based on a wartime model. Now it's based on active shooter. Okay. What are you going to do to keep him alive for the next 60 minutes while you shelter in place until the cavalry gets there?
Yep.
We're now expanding it to an advanced level also that's a 5-day format. This one's 3. It's a 5-day format. We do edged weapons. We just run a whole gamut of things. Close quarters pistol. We call it tactical concealed carry pistol because people thought it was a CCW class.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So that's why we didn't add the tactical to raise the price.
Yep.
We just had to get a different name on it. So it's a big variety. If you go to gunsite.com, the whole list of classes and descriptions and our instructors, and we've got world-class instructors, the real deal guys and gals that, as Jeff Cooper used to say, they've seen the elephant. And when you you can speak with a little more authority.
Sure.
I know what stress does.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how it impacts you and
Sure.
and so on. So we've got some when you get the likes of people like Randy Watt and Steve Tarani and Lou Gosnell and Boris and Louis Auerbach and Ed Stock and so on, man, those are people I shut up when they talk, so I can still learn.
Well, here's the key part. Everyone can learn, right?
Yes.
So the point that you, as either a shooter or instructor, hit that plateau, if you want to say, I know it all. You're done. Hang it up.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because you are done in the game. There's always improvement. You can always learn something, even from a bad instructor. It might be what not to do.
I'm not going to do it that way.
But you can always learn something from somebody.
Yep.
And you brought up another great point that I've seen in the industry. There is too much of this, well, I'm a, intermediate shooter. I'm an advanced shooter. Well, what's the standard for it? What you think's an advanced shooter might not be what I think's an advanced shooter, might be an intermediate. Hey, man, to me, we're all basic shooters, right? Now, at that level of basic, how much proficiency do we have? I think that's where it comes in to making the difference.
Yeah, just show me.
That's it.
Yeah. And after the first class, if I think you're that good, okay, well, I
Cool.
might bounce you.
Yeah.
So I used to do a lot of work with Louis Auerbach, and Jeff Cooper considered him one of the top 5 in the world, right? And we're teaching somewhere, and this guy comes up and he goes, well, I want this high speed, low drag, kill a commie for mommy, and all these kind of things. And Louis smoked. So he took his son, and he wasn't a big, powerful guy. He'd been like an SAS there in Rhodesia.
Yeah.
Right. Takes his sunglasses out, takes the camel out of his lips, and he goes, just what is a high-speed gunfight, Slick? And he just looked at the guy, and I thought, I wish it would have been an iPhone days, because then he went into this very philosophical and eloquent discussion of the master has failed more times than the novice has tried.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's the mastery of the basics, and
100%.
there's nothing wrong with sights, trigger, follow through, and staying on that, and your grip, and you just master those basics, and the other stuff will fall together then.
Yeah. And you bring up a great point. It's mastery of the basics, but then you see all this added artificiality added in, right? Like, I love this new one. Hey, I'm tracking the target to the ground. Well, not all the dudes I shot exactly fell right there. Hey, if you get that follow through, man, it doesn't matter where your target goes. Up, down, right, side.
Yeah.
Put put your sights on that after you fire the shot.
Do this, or do this.
Yeah. Just do your follow through.
Yeah.
At that point, it doesn't. You're not adding artificial. Oh, I'm tracking him to the ground. He doesn't always go down. What if he's going up some stairs? Right.
Yeah.
He might drop high.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or what if he's just going that way?
Yeah. Moving laterally. Right.
Yeah.
So, and you have some of these people putting these artificialities out there, and you hate to say it, but kind of going back to Louis, like, well, how many gunfights you been in there, Slick?
Yeah.
Right. You're talking what? Theory, not experience.
Yeah, we're not counting Call of Duty here, okay?
No,
We're talking.
Everyone's an expert there, you know.
Yeah, the two-way range.
Yeah,
Right.
But that is, like, I'll tell you student stories, right? So he never became a student that I know of, but I'm interacting with this one guy that want to take class. Well, I think your stuff's basic. I'm way above that. And I said, okay, let me ask you a simple question. 7 meters, IPSC style target, draw the first shot, A zone hit. What's your time? I don't know, man, but I'm fast. right. I'm probably not the guy.
Good to know.
Yeah, probably not the guy for you. And there's just a bunch of that out there. And I think where we see a lot of that happening is from this whole social media standpoint, where you have all these people, just like you said, some of your comments and other things out there. I know for us, at least on the meta side, we're super suppressed. We can't even get a message out there. So people can't even tell me bad things back because no one's seeing it. How are you guys at Gunsite seeing that or dealing with that?
Not horribly suppressed, and Facebook's better than it was.
Okay.
For us. We were getting all the warnings and all that stuff. So it's better than it was, which is good. We just try to be careful on how we word things.
Yeah.
And that's a shame.
It's criminal. It's not a shame. To me, it's criminal because the Constitution of the United States gives me the right to say whatever I want. And I was the guy that used to think, hey, 1 and 2 should be flip-flopped. Today, I never thought in my lifetime I would ever be concerned with my First Amendment rights. Yeah. And today, it's more than ever.
Yes.
I'm sitting there going, oh, how do I type something where I don't put this word or show this picture?
So they aren't offended.
Well, so
and
they're
complain.
They're not offended so much where Meta's AI doesn't pick up that picture of that law enforcement officer conducting free training, which I found out today from another guest. I guess free is a bad word, so you guys can take that back to Gunsite. If you offer anything free, pull it out, right? You can get admission to a course by filling this, but I guess free's bad. But why should we have to think about words we're saying so this AI doesn't pick it up and then restrict what we're doing?
It's frustrating.
It's
beyond frustrating.
Yeah. To me, it's criminal. And it's glad to see. I'm glad to see kind of, hey, the NRA is starting to pick that up. Other agency or organizations are starting to pick it up. Where hopefully we can take our voice and make that change. Yeah. Hey, I got it. Hey, Meta, you're a private company. However, you either take your 230 protections and let us say what we want, or you go to editorial. You don't have both.
Yeah.
And right now, they're getting both. Yeah. So hopefully we get some change there. But on the training side, if I'm going out to Gunsite Can I get housing out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, gunsite.com. There's lodging on there. And whether it's the hotels, and you can stay in Prescott, you can stay in Chino Valley. There's really nothing in Paulden. Paulden's a little tiny city. If you go to the lodging page and you call the local restaurant or the local hotel direct, like downtown Prescott, there's a Spring Hill Suites. If you call them direct, say I'm coming to Gunsite, you get a discount.
Oh, okay.
The bed and breakfast people want to have babies for us. Well, think about the clients we got. They're decent people. They don't come in and get drunk and party and trash the place.
Yep.
They come in, they want to play guns, and they pay their bills. So truly, they're like, how can we get on your lodging list?
Yeah.
Well, we send somebody out to inspect the property and make sure it's okay. And at the end of each week, we get an evaluation of us and the instructors and the property and where they stayed.
Yeah.
And if the place starts getting complaints, we'll say, hey, you got a problem at your place.
Yeah.
And if it continues,
You're off the list.
you're off the list.
Yeah.
So that's real nice. So if you want more amenities, you go to Prescott, Chino, or you do these. There's a couple of bed and breakfasts right outside, physically right outside our gate.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's nice. We have a campground. If you want a tent camp or RV, and it's gorgeous there. It's the dark skies. We've been dark skies since before it was cool.
Yeah.
Right. And you can see the Milky Way from our campground.
Nice.
Because then if you're real quiet at night, sometimes you'll see the mountain lion or the bobcats come wandering through. I've got tracks. I live right behind Gunsite, and Brent Weed, he's the editor of Guns Magazine, right? He and I were baby cops together and longtime best friends. He and I were mountain lion hunting in December, and we 4 days on horseback, great time, but just no luck other than we were hunting.
Yeah.
So he leaves on Saturday morning. Sunday morning, I'm out going around my house, and I'm out in the middle of 48 acres there, doing the bird feeders and all that thing. 3 sets of mountain lion tracks 20 feet off my front porch. A tom, a cat, and a kitten.
We
should have sat on the porch, smoked cigars, drank bourbon, and
Yeah. Oh.
waited.
That's always the case, isn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, so lodging's available there. That's one of our long-term plans. 5-year plan at Gunsite. We want to build our own lodge.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that right across the road from our instructor quarters, build like a 2-story, 30-room atrium, and I don't want to be the innkeeper.
No.
I'll lease it to you.
Sure.
And you just send me a check,
Yep.
but you got to make breakfast and dinner available.
Okay.
Lunch is already available at Gunsite. We have a caterer, $13 delivered, all fresh food.
Nice.
So in theory, you come in on Sunday, and you don't have to leave the facility until Saturday morning. So
Fantastic.
it's good.
I like it.
We try to be full service, and you have a good time. And as you know, when you're training good people, we change their lives.
Yep.
If we can reach them,
Yeah.
we change their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You add survivability. God
Yeah.
forbid they're ever in that
Yeah.
deadly force encounter, which you want no one to be in, but God forbid they are.
Yeah.
They've got the skill to defend themselves and
Right.
come out on top.
Yeah. Or maybe just the mindset part of it all. They're like, I'm going to go over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a huge win that is.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Avoid it as opposed to,
Yep.
Absolutely.
I got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saddle up, Pilgrim.
Say when, Huckleberry.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and not only that, we're talking about the Second Amendment, just passing along that confidence that, hey, we need to continue this gun historical legacy that we have in the United States and not lose that. And it's so important.
Something we started seeing 4 or 5 years ago during the riots and the defund the police thing. We started seeing more and more non-traditional gun owners in classes. Now, our classes don't exceed 24 students, so our student-to-instructor ratio on the firing line does not exceed 1 to 4.
Okay.
But if I've got 6 people that have come in and said, can you help me open this box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That changes things.
Oh, yeah.
So we added a class that's called Day Zero.
Okay.
And it's on Sunday. And I didn't want people to think I'm trying to get another day's tuition. But what it does is it's very slow-paced, and it's literally, this is a gun, this is the barrel, this is the trigger, these are bullets, this is a good holster, this is a bad holster, here's why, and so on. And we started doing that about 2 years ago, and so far I've had 0 negative evaluations. We did it before every 250 pistol class. I've had 3 people at the end of that day 0 say, this isn't for me.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
good.
better than me coming to you on Tuesday saying, can we talk in the office a minute?
Right.
Yeah.
Because some people just, it's not their thing. So that's taken off.
Good.
And now we're seeing the same thing with ARs. So we've added a day 0 carbine.
Okay.
So it's nice, and what it does is it gives us an opportunity, and that's one of the things you just said made me think of this, to introduce them to, we're normal people too. Normal by your standards and ours. We put our pants on the same way.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we really like that, and it's nice seeing that. Some of the folks opt for private classes because they don't want their friends and neighbors to know that they're going to have guns. We do a lot of private family classes. Team building, company team building. You want to take your company and go play golf and call it team building, that's fine. What we do is we'll give you our classroom for a day or 2, whatever you need, and then pay for a couple days worth of firearms training. That's team building.
Oh, yeah.
And we've done it. There's some, I can't name companies, but some
don't need you
places a lot of you folks have shopped and so on, and it's pretty cool. We've been doing it with this one company probably 30 years.
Nice.
So we all know shooting is much more.
Yep.
So much more, and such an economic driver in our country. Whether it's an event like this, let's take whatever the widgets they're selling here. Look at the security they've hired, the cleanup people, the restaurants, the hotels, the tourism taxes, and our industry is a huge economic driver, and that's crucial.
Yeah. No, and having organizations like the NRA have conferences, and again, the nice thing with them versus something like SHOT, where SHOT's always in Vegas, it's like, I don't want to go back to Vegas. Yeah. But you have no choice.
No, I agree.
Where at least with NRA, hey, they're bouncing around, which is great. So we're kind of spreading that wealth across different cities there. Hats off for them for doing that. But, when SHOT used to go at least between Orlando and Vegas, it made things a little nicer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. New Orleans one year.
Yep. But it's
I'll tell you a fun Indianapolis NRA story,
Okay.
right? So this was 2014, and I was still sheriff, and I was at the county right next door. So I'm going in to pick up my credentials. Now, I was never issued an unmarked car in my career, didn't want one, and when I was sheriff, I wore body armor and I wore a uniform because that's what I expected you to do. There was a time and a place for a tie and a sport coat.
Yeah.
So I pull up in my Tahoe, marked Tahoe, and park at the curb, and I get out, and this Marion County sergeant comes running over and sees the stars on my collar. It's like, sir, you can't park here. I'm like, Sarge, I'm going to go in there and pick up my credentials, and I'm coming right back out. Sir, you cannot park here. Here's my keys, Sarge. I'll be back in just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I did.
Take your first spin.
Yeah.
So I go in, get my credentials, and I'm right back out, and she comes over to me. She goes, sir, I'm so sorry. I said, no, Sarge, I'm sorry. I put you in a spot, but I had to get in and out of here. She goes, no, sir, I've talked to Car 2, the chief deputy.
Yeah.
I've talked to Car 2. I'm assigned here all weekend. This is your parking space.
Okay.
That's a great story.
That was a good conference. NRA, I'd pull up there to the curb.
Front row parking.
Well done, Sergeant.
I don't get that perk anymore.
Yeah.
I wrote a real nice attaboy letter
great.
to the sheriff there about how good care they took of me and so on. But that was
awesome.
Indianapolis is a good place to go for NRA conference too. The downtown's pretty decent.
Yeah.
If you ever go, St. Elmo's Steakhouse downtown, and get the shrimp cocktail.
Okay.
And anybody who knows what I'm talking about, their sinuses are leaking right now
I like
from
it.
the shrimp cocktail sauce there.
Well, it sounds like you've had a ton of things going on for a very long time, and it's still continuing, and it sounds like you're improving on a great product already, so hats off to you.
Well, I tell you, it's all the kudos go to our staff. Ronald Reagan said, you surround yourself with good people that you trust and empower them to act.
Yeah.
I inherited a good team. when I came there from Buzz, and Buzz Mills is still very active in the business, but I oversee day-to-day operations and some long-term planning, but I've got a great team of people. Dave Hartman's like my company first sergeant. He's a training director, and Ricky Newell, our office manager, and Lindy Walters, our pro shop manager. And just for, again, fun history point, if you can't tell, I like what I do just a little bit, right?
As you should.
Yes.
Lindy Walters, our pro shop manager, if you've been much of a historian of shooting, there was a fellow named Bruce Nelson, Bruce Nelson Combat Leather. He was a very early holster maker. He was a peace officer out of California, and many of the holster designs we wear today were his. And he was an instructor in class number 1.
Wow.
And many years until he passed away in about 1990, that was her uncle.
Really?
No
And that's
kidding.
kind of cool that
Yeah.
that tradition carries on.
Small
So,
world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm blessed to be where I am, and I love doing what I do. And Buzz asked me a couple of years ago, how much longer are you going to do this? And I said, well, till it isn't fun.
Right.
And he said, okay, fair answer, but how long? And I said, I don't know. You're about 80. I might shoot for that.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to work every day and you enjoy what you're doing, is it really work?
No.
And it's like, as an entrepreneur, I have never worked so hard in all of my life. Military, easy, right? I'll take that job all day long. I work harder now than I did when I was in, but you know what? I get so much more enjoyment on this end.
You meet neat people
Yep.
from all lines of work, from all over the country that want to be there and learn.
Yeah,
That want to, unlike, oh, boss, I just want to qualify.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get off my range.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole nother getting into the topic
that's a
of
whole
That's a whole nother
podcast.
show.
the qualification. Don't get me started on
Yeah.
that one. But
Well, we'd love to have you come back on the show for
Well,
sure.
Well, since you already quoted him, say when.
That's right.
anytime when you
right.
got the time,
It's been a pleasure, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Absolutely my pleasure. And when are you coming to Gunsite?
Well, we're going to have to go out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like.
You
it,
know
Ken.
a guy.
I know a guy. Make a phone call.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
No,
right.
Ken, appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. For the rest of you guys, don't forget, train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.